Look out, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
There he is, Tom Brady's replacement right there, Dr. Gary Layne. Hello there. Nice background you got there. Where'd you find that one?
Thank you. Buy a wife, get a background.
Is that a website or is that a box store?
Yeah, no, that's like I Can Wiggle. It's real. It's actually the family room where.
Very nice.
Yeah, sorry.
We need to do one of our shows from the family room there.
You need to, from the back porch or out by the lake. We'll catch some bass or we'll get some catfish or one of those. No worries.
Dr. Gary Layne, he is the founder of Functional Christianity. Thank God somebody's functioning as a Christian, and also the director of administration at Grace Ministries International. I almost forgot the name.
Yeah.
Can we start over?
Where am I?
Yeah. We're already in July, believe it or not. That's what day it is.
Yeah. July.
It's crazy.
Hey, before we get into just odds and ends, just kind of pick your brain. What about this Cam Newton deal with the Patriots?
Yeah.
You're not just a Tom Brady guy. You're a Patriots guy. So no matter who's at the helm, you're good, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens. We'll have some excuse why it was someone else's fault.
Now you can blame it on Cam instead of Tom, right?
Yeah, so now it'll be Cam's fault because he's too mobile.
Yeah.
Brady was not mobile enough and Cam's too mobile. So there'll be some reason. But no, it's interesting to see how a team player, how do you become part of a team? There's 11 guys at any one time that are playing on the field. So what does it look like to have, that's one of maybe an important part, but it's just one of 11. So you have to play as a unit. You have to play as a team. And so that would be interesting to see how he plays as a team player.
Yep.
That's really good. Dr. Gary Layne, I'm going to text Bill Belichick to say, you know what, anytime you guys lose, just blame it on the good doctor.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Gary Layne and his bad strategies.
Hey, Allison, good? Everything good with you guys?
Allison is good. Yeah, she's an amazing wife. And, we're trying to blend together 2 60-plus-year-old lives and two 30-year-plus homes. And right now, that's almost impossible. It's like, let's bring all your stuff to my house. No, let's take all your stuff to my house. It's like, no, it's not working. So we're having to, if anybody needs anything, please call Gary Layne and say, hey, I need a couch or a chair or a bedroom set or a bed or kitchen dishes or knives or forks. We have 3 of everything. We had 2 houses, but we got 3 of everything. So she's good. She's really good. We're learning to enjoy each other. Actually, the COVID thing, I think for us has been really good. We've been trapped together in the house and working together. She's finally gone back to the office. So now she's upset. She's having to drive all the way up to the office on 85. And I'm sitting here at the kitchen table. So she's like, that ain't right. So,
really Rick and I, whenever they say, all right, it's time for you guys to come back, Rick and I are going to be kicking and screaming all the way in, I think.
Yeah, I had to walk from the kitchen over to the dining room table instead of getting in my car and driving 40 minutes to your studio. So I understand.
It's kind of nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've saved.
Although I miss Chamso. I miss Chamso.
Yeah, we do too. We never see her anymore.
We all miss. So I've saved a lot of money on pants, though. I don't need to. I'm just not wearing them any longer. And I can get.
How do I block you out?
You brought up 2 great points. I was kind of going to go on a different direction, but you just sparked something in me. So anytime there's a blended family of sorts, I would imagine it would be overwhelming on so many levels, not just stuff, but emotional stuff and all that. Where do you begin? You obviously don't throw it all in the pot at one time and try to figure it out. What do you do?
Well, it depends on how far they're into the new relationship. If it's a brand new relationship or you're considering blending families, then there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You've got to really literally sit down and say, okay, do you like, this person and how's your relationship with this person? And so you have to literally blend those families together, and it's relationship blending. So it's a lot of work. If it's already there and it's not working so well, then sometimes what you have to do is sit down as a couple and honestly say, hey, we've not managed this well, and so now let's back up and let's take a look at our relationships. We know we're committed, we know we love each other. Now how do we make our families work? But you can't make these people like these people just because you decided to get married. You know, Allison has joined my family, and so some of her friends are upset with her because she's spending more time with me. And when she married me, she married 5 kids and 3 grandkids, and so it's always something. You know, Father's Day was crazy. She's never been. All she's ever had to do was drive up to see her father for Father's Day. But now she's got a husband who's got kids, and so those kids want to come over and see their dad, and so she's like, wow, this is like all new. But she actually has friends that are upset. You don't come out with us. We don't go, we don't go to, well, first part of it's COVID, but the other thing is she doesn't spend time with them because she's spending time with me.
Right.
So there's a relationship building that has to occur. And Grace Ministries does a good job of understanding blended families and walking couples through that. So sometimes it's just, you need to sit down and talk about it.
And you talked about it in a funny way about trying to blend all the furniture and everything like that. But there can be fights in that, I would think, because we get attached to stuff. And when somebody says, well, my couch is nicer than yours, and you think, well, I've had this couch for years, and there can be fights in there, right?
Yeah, I've had my furniture longer than I've had my wife. Yeah, I have a bigger television than she has. So it's
and you should have the bigger one, not the smaller one. Yeah.
But her house doesn't. The house that we're living in, I think you can see the television. It only sits a certain size TV. So my TV's not going to fit. So now it's like, well, what do I do with a? I mean, I guess my son's going to inherit a 60-inch television that was on the wall.
But be glad to take it from you if you need somebody to take it. We're sacrificial that way.
Yes, it is. But that's part of building the relationship. Hey, honey, I love you, but I really love my television. It's like, wow, what does that say about you? I love my TV more than I love you. I mean, I told you I loved you and committed to you, but I'm really committed to my 60-inch screen.
Yes.
So it does allow me an opportunity to look at myself and say, what is important to me? What am I really attached to? And why am I attached to stuff more than my spouse? I mean, that's sad, but it happens.
Yeah.
That's really good. Dr. Gary Layne, you can go to gmed.org, founder of Functional Christianity. Now, do you have all your sites up and the Facebook? Where
I do. FunctionalChristianity.com is up, and I'm literally doing just 3 things with Functional Christianity. I'm doing retreat weekends here at the home for couples that really are in trouble. They want to save their marriage. They're committed to that. I'm bringing them into the house. We're going to have exercises, not physical exercise, but mental exercises, and taking walks. And there's going to be some intensive redefining the relationships for 3 days, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays here at the house. So that's an intensive for marriage for couples. And then I'm doing premarital counseling for people that are looking to get married. So that's primarily what I'm doing. The third thing I'm doing is, when we get back to it, I teach conferences and speak all over the country and all over the world. But the other thing I'm doing is, which I'm really excited about, can announce right here on this show, is I'm taking 10 couples, Lord willing, I'm taking 10 couples to Israel in 2021, and we're going to call it Reconnect, and we're going to connect with their religion, with their faith in God, and with their spouse. So I'm taking 10 couples in April in 2021. So functionalchristianity.com.
Are you taking them all in your station wagon, or how?
Yes.
That'll be interesting to see. And you're putting the fun in functional Christianity.
I'm trying to. There you go. Thank you. See? That was that's my new tagline. Instead
there
of making
putting
sense
the
of
fun.
God in life, putting the fun in functional. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
So you said 2021. I'm going to step out on assumption here. Is it later on in 2021 so folks can sign up, or exactly when is it?
It's April of 2021. There's 2 different groups. If you want to be part of the 10 couples, I can only take 10 couples and do the sessions right. And we've got like cooking classes for the couples. We've rented out an entire hotel in Bethlehem. This is so amazing. This amazing hotel that's right in Bethlehem. You literally can walk to the Church of the Nativity, and so we're going to rent that out. So that's 10 couples. That's in mid-April, and then in late April, almost into May, I'm going to take a group of 40 individuals, and we're going to just walk through the Holy Land and look at it from a position of grace. What does it look like in the post-cross era, the dispensation of grace? What does it look like, our Christianity, as you go back now and see where Jesus taught? You know, stand in Capernaum where Jesus said, "Who do people say that I am?" Well, he was standing in front of a place where they were worshiping other gods. And so he walked with his disciples there and then said, "Who do people say that I am?" And of course, that's great. Peter said, you know, you're the God, you're the Messiah. And of course, most people don't know this, but they're standing by a giant mountain. It was like a stone mountain. Just think of Stone Mountain, but it's in Israel. And of course, he said, "On this rock, I'm going to build my kingdom, that I am the Messiah." And so fascinating.
That's very cool. That sounds like it's going to be a great trip. So how can people find out more about that?
Functionalchristianity.com. There's 2 little videos, one for the couples and one for the individuals. And
awesome.
All the details are there. There's a great company in Israel that I know the owners, and trust them intensely for the tour. I've been on tours with them. They're great people. It's going to be amazing.
The hotel that you're going to stay at in Bethlehem, is that the one that turned down Mary and Joseph when they when Mary was pregnant? Is it that one?
Yes, it's right next door.
Okay, all right, good.
Because this one has rooms available.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the rates are much cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Gary Layne, Functional Christianity. I'm going to throw Dan a curve here. I want to keep him just a little bit longer, because there's something I really want to touch on. So if we can, Doctor, if you have time, you don't have any patience, I'd love to talk with you just a little bit longer here on Facebook Live. Hey, you're watching Dr. Gary Layne, not a doctor, Grace Ministries International. He's a doctor to me, the doctor of love.
Doctor of love.
Yeah, and the founder of Functional Christianity. Hey, Doc, we've been experiencing a lot of emotions with, of course, over 100 days with COVID, death, the economy, and then with the race issues. Gosh, I mean, where do we begin? Dan and I have interviewed people of color, and we really, really want to know how to move this thing forward. What shall we do? At some points, we really don't know what to ask. We don't know what to say, even in public. What do you do? It's, and I hate to point the camera at me, but it's like, okay, I want to help, but what do? I don't want to say anything wrong. So what do we do? What do we do with this?
Well, here's one thing I know is when there's an intense anger, or there's feelings, a lot of emotion, here's what I do know. Facts don't change that for somebody. So, someone says, "Oh, well, we're angry because this occurred or this occurred or this occurred." It's like, yes, be angry, but don't sin, I think is what it says in the Bible. But I can't come back and go, "Well, but here's the fact. The fact is this is this and this is," it doesn't matter. I liken it to people who are sports fans who love their team. You just talked to me about Cam. Cam's now a Patriot. Do I love Cam? Yes. Why? Because he's a Patriot. You're not going to convince me the Patriots are a terrible team because they got Cam Newton or because they got rid of Tom Brady. So I'm connected to that team. And so there's a lot of people that are connected to their cause, whatever that cause is, and they're passionate about it. Now, some of the riots and things have been, I think, poorly represented of a cause. And so rioting doesn't win any favors with anybody, I don't think.
Right.
Looting doesn't prove anybody's point. But I'm not trying to fight, but I can't use facts to try to fix an emotional thing. We need to hear the emotion of the people that are hurting and try to help them understand their anger is based on something that they're sensing within themselves. They're upset about something. They're worried. There's fear in there, and it's coming out as anger. And so I think Jesus said it pretty much, love your neighbor as yourself and love your enemy. And so I may not think that I'm on the right side of the cause or the wrong side of the cause, but I need to understand the other side of my issue. So for whatever side of the issue you're on, you have to stop and say, okay, wait, I need to hear the other side. And I know it sounds crazy. You know, I'm a white man. So they're like, okay, well, you don't get it. Well, if you would explain, maybe I would understand it. So don't be mad at me. Don't be angry and come at me, but sit down with me and say, okay, here's some things happened, Gary, and here's why we're upset. And here's what's happened in the past. The other thing is I noticed that we're tearing down all our monuments now. And I understand some of that. But on the other hand, you don't have to like our history. You don't have to agree with our history, but it's our history. And so, you know, somebody way smarter than me once said, if you do not learn from history, you are doomed or to repeat it. Yep. And so we have to learn that there was bad stuff that happened in our history. It's very interesting to me, and I'm going to probably get in trouble for calling out the church, but in the French Revolution occurred way back when everybody was angry and upset, and they were using a man-driven, psychological, secular approach to fixing it. And England had a revolution going on almost at the exact same time, and the preachers were the ones that stood up and preached love and preached God in us is greater than anything that can come against us. And so it's interesting to see how England turned the tide and went into a really great prosperous time, and the French Revolution came and it killed a lot of people. So it's interesting to see that secular will not fix this. This is only going to be fixed by the love of God flowing through Christians into the lives of other people who are hurting. And so we need to hear their cause. And I don't know, that's my thought on it.
That's some good thoughts.
Yeah, really wise, Dr. Gary Layne. And I think it's going to take time. I don't think it's something that we can fix next month. And then, you know, hey, it's done.
No, you're right.
Let's move on. I think it's something that we take a stage at a time because it didn't happen overnight. And deeply rooted in our culture. So, you know, I think I'm glad some things are happening and moving forward, but we can't fix anything, you know, overnight. The only thing we can fix immediately is you know, we come to Christ. He changes us into a new creature.
And so, I would say one thing that might help, or at least it's helping me, because I found myself whenever I was watching news or looking at Facebook and seeing all these just negative posts, it was just getting me to where I was like, rah! And I thought, why are you looking at this? Stop looking at, you know, don't look at Facebook so much. You know, if the news is making you really upset, turn it off and just look at it through a spiritual perspective rather than through the world's perspective of social media and news.
Yeah, exactly. I did a Facebook Live. It's on, if you go to Facebook and look up Functional Christianity, I did a Facebook Live about what are we thinking about? Where's our mind? What's our focus is the name of that one I did. But, you know, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, think on these things, Paul said. And so if you go to Facebook and type in Functional Christianity, you'll find me. What is on my focus? And so you're right. You're exactly right that we are spending our time being bombarded by negativity, and it starts to overwhelm us. And, you know, Jesus said something amazing. He said two interesting thoughts. He said, I am the light of the world. But then he said in Matthew, he said, you are the light of the world. And then he said, a light shining on a hill. We don't hide that. We let that uncover. And he said, let your good works be seen before men, and then they will glorify your Father in heaven. So for Christians, we should be about good works. We should be helping our community. And just a shout out to Dr. Ike. You guys know Dr. Ike.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Ike Reichert and Piedmont Church, where I attend. They're doing an amazing job of trying to help the community with meals and with, you know, just different things through Muth Ministries in Cobb County. So we are the light of the world.
Love it. Dr. Gary Layne, he also teaches a Bible study there at Piedmont every Wednesday night. Check that out. And functionalchristianity.com, Grace Ministries International, gment.com. All right, Doctor, we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks. Blessings.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, Allison, we love her, and we look forward to seeing her someday soon. Hey, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.